Om Vakratunda Mahakaya Suryakoti Samaprabha Nirvignam Kuru Me Deva Sarvakaryeshu Sarvada. Om Shri Mahaganapataye Namaha. Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om Sadashiva Samarambham Shankaracharya Madhyamam Asmadacharya Padyantam Vande Guru Paramparam. Asmad Gurubhyo Namaha. Srutismrutipurananam Alayam Karunalayam Namami Bhagavadpadam Shankaram Lokashankaram Shankaram Shankaracharyam Keshavam Badharayanam Sutra Bhashya Kritau Vande Bhagavantau Punah Punah Ishvaro Gururātmeti Murti Bheda Vibhagine Vyomavad Vyapta Dehaya Dakshinamurtaye Namaha. Om Shri Medha Dakshinamurti Swamine Namaha. Om Sahana Bhavatu Sahana Bhunaktu Sahavidyam Karavavahai Tejasvinavadhetamastu ma Vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om. Om Parthaya Pratibodhitam Bhagavatam Narayana Swayam Vyasena Gratitam Purana Munina Madhye Mahabharatam Advaitamritavacchinim Bhagavatim Ashtadashadhyayinim Ampatva Manusandhatami Bhagavat Gite Bhavadveshinim Yam Brahma Varunendra Rudra Marutaham Sunmanti Divyaistavaihi Vedai Sankavadakranopanishadaihi Gayanti Yam Samagaha Dhyanavastitadadgatena Manasam Pashyanti Yam Yoginaha Yasyantanna Vidhussura Suraganaha Devaya Tasmai Namaha. Was the sound okay?
Yes, Guruji. Namaste, Guruji.
There was no interruption.
There were some interruptions.
Little interruptions.
No problem.
Namaste Guruji. There was little interruption. Namaste Guruji. Pranam.
Okay.
Yeah, there was some break in your voice.
Okay. But otherwise, it was okay in the sense that you could hear the voice otherwise.
There is a delay in the delay.
Okay, there is a delay. What we will do is, I will conduct the class. If there is interruption and all, it is, you just make a note, whatever it is, and then you can view the video once again, because everything is getting recorded on my laptop, so that is not dependent on the internet. So this one class and maybe tomorrow's class also I will be here. So this is basically I came here taking a risk that let me try it out whether it works. If it doesn't work, then I will take the class from my house only, back to Coimbatore proper. So let us continue like this. And if there is any interruption, okay, you can point out if it's a major problem, nothing is being heard, you can point out. Otherwise, we'll continue and then you can follow it on the this recording. Just one class for this class, so that we will know the quality of the internet through this personal hotspot. Okay. So with those requests, we will start. I think we just read this sloka last time. Kayena manasa buddhya kevalairindriyairapi yogina karma
kurvanti sangam tyaktva
shuddhaye. I request everyone to please mute your thing, otherwise it will disturb my chanting. So the Anvaya of this sloka is Tyaktva Sangam Yoginaha Kayena Manasa Buddhya Api Indriyaihi Kevalaihi Karma Kurvanti Atma Shuddhaye. Tyaktva Sangam. Again, as I told you in the last class, one of the most important teachings of the Gita is Sangam Tyaktva. This Krishna will repeat again and again and again. And that is one of the most important keys for moksha. All our problems arise from attachment to the results of our whatever we do, our actions. Once you learn to accept whatever results come with an open mind, 90% of your problems are solved. Anyhow, so Sangam Tyaktva, without attachment, Yoginaha, Karma Yogis, Kayena, with the body, Manasa, with the mind, Buddhya, with the intellect, Api, Indriyahi, with the sense organs, Kevalaihi, without identification, Karma Kurvanti, perform action, Atma Shuddhaye, for the sake of mental purity. So the simple meaning of this sloka is without attachment, the karma yogis, without identification, perform action with the body, mind and intellect and sense organs for the sake of mental purity. So as we have been seeing, Bhagavan Krishna is presenting a Jnani's way of life, his attitude, and also his response to situations that he faces in life. If you remember, in Shlokas 8 and 9, he said, even while seeing, hearing, touching, smelling, eating, moving, sleeping, breathing, talking, evacuating, opening the eye, closing the eye, Nimishan unnimishan napi, he said. The Jnani is aware that he does not do anything at all. And that all the actions he does belongs to his body, mind, sense complex. Because he has identified himself as Atma, the pure consciousness. And he is fully aware that consciousness, as consciousness, he doesn't do anything. All actions are, they belong to their body, mind, sense complex. In addition, he also understands that what is happening is the interplay between the sense organs and the sense objects. Each sense object getting engaged with their respective sense organs. For example, eyes. Eyes are getting engaged with the external world, whatever objects are there for us to see. Form and colors, etc. That is what. With eyes, you cannot hear. Similarly, ears, they get engaged with the sounds. So each sense organ has got a specific sense object, and the interplay of these two, the sense organ and sense object, is what results in action. At the sensory level, the interplay happens, then desire comes up, and then the karmendriyani get into action, executing the action. Therefore, by this attitude, the jnani gets rid of deha abhimana, identification with the body, mind, sense complex. Instead, he identifies himself with the higher I and abides in that knowledge that aham naiva kinchit karomi. He knows that the real I, the higher I, the Atma Swarupam, does not do anything at all. It is akarta, non-doer, and therefore it is abhokta. And even while a jnani discovers a higher I and abides in that, his problems at the body, mind, sense complex level will not go away. the prarabdha karmas, which has actually started taking effect right from the time of birth, those prarabdha karmas do not make any difference between a jnani and an ajnani. He has become a jnani only now. But the bullet of prarabdha karma has been fired at the time of the jnani's birth, when he was an ajnani. And once the bullet is fired, it will hit its target only, its target. It cannot be stopped. So they don't make any difference. The karmas, prarabdha karmas, the past punya papas, they don't make any difference between a jnani and ajnani in respect of giving the karma phala for the past actions. Mind you, even though the jnani is identifying himself with the higher I, the lower I also is subsisting. He requires the lower I for the higher I to reside. Therefore, the lower I of a jnani will be afflicted with all physical problems of the body. Biological pain cannot be avoided. Jnanam does not give you freedom from biological pain. And as I said in the last class, biological pain, we don't call it as samsara. Whenever we are referring to samsara, we refer to the psychological problems, our emotional pains. That is what is afflicting. That is what takes away our happiness. If biological pain gets converted into emotional pain, then it becomes samsara. But biological pain on its own doesn't cause samsara. And a jnani is able to deal effectively with his emotional problems because of his knowledge, because of his jnanam. He knows what I am, what is the role of this body, etc. And even in respect of the problems of the lower I, in front of the higher I which he has discovered, the lower I and its problems will appear small and insignificant. Last class, we discussed this in the context of the freedom struggle in India. A very wonderful example to understand what is this lower I, what is this higher I. There are even many people, I mean, our own Prime Minister, if you take, identification with the higher I, not in Vedantic sense, but I want to devote my life for the welfare of this country, for taking this country to a developed country by 1947 or Vikasit Bharat. Developed country, no longer an underdeveloped or developing country. So everything is sacrificed at the altar of that higher I. In Vedantic context, we say the higher I, which we have to identify ourselves with, is pure consciousness, Sat Chit Anand. That we have to understand that our real nature is that, and we need to identify with that. And the discovery of the higher I will not take place overnight. For that matter, even for a length of time, it will not take place. Even though the person must have set on the spiritual path. Lot of patience is required in this path. All that you have to focus on is only sadhanas, sadhanas, and sadhanas. That is why the Sangam Tattva becomes very important. Don't even have an iota of thinking, oh, I am doing this sadhana, when will this give me the effect that is being talked about? Total detachment with the result. Just do. Karma yogi has to do everything with that attitude of karma yogi. And Krishna provides step-by-step guidance as to how one should go about. So he begins in the 10th sloka by saying that until you discover that higher abstract self, start with karma yoga sadhanas. So he said the first step is Brahmani Karmani Adhaya. May you develop devotion to the Lord. May you offer all your actions at the feet of the Lord as an offering. Develop an attitude that you are worshipping the Lord. Whenever you do any action, eating, seeing, sleeping also. That's why right from our childhood, we are advised, before going to sleep, say your prayers. Once you say your prayers, it becomes a puja. Your sleep itself is a puja. So develop a Ishwararpana Bhava. And the second most important aspect of this offering should be, as I said, Sangam Tyaktva. Dedication of the action should be done without attachment to the results, the karma phalam. Mind you, it is not that one should not expect results for the action done. No one will engage in any action without expectations of the desired results. Even a dim-witted person, Mandaha, it is said, Prayojanam anuddishya mandopina pravartate. Without expecting something from his action, even a dim-witted person will not enter into any action. Expecting some result of the action is total natural tendency, human tendency. But what is emphasized is that such expectation should not be binding expectation. So that when the expectations are not met, one becomes negative, one becomes distressed or even loses faith in doing action. Many people do that, I mean, you have heard quite often, from tomorrow I'm not going to go to the temple. I went to the temple, I prayed for this and God was unfair to me, he did not give that. I prayed to the God that I should pass in first class and I just escaped failing the examination. So I am not going to the temple from tomorrow. Such people are there. I have myself heard many people say such things. I have gone from temple to temple to temple, all done. I consulted so many astrologers for my daughter's marriage, but that is not happening. I have no faith in all these things. So I am not going to go to the temples. All these, kind of attitudes are there. Therefore, expectation of result or renouncing the expectation of any particular result. I will emphasize the word particular here. Renouncing of any expectation of any particular result is necessary. Therefore, the attitude to be developed is that I will do my part by offering all my actions to the Lord, and then whatever results I get, I will gracefully accept them as Ishvara Prasada. So Ishwararpana Bhava and Ishvara Prasada Bhava are the essence of Karma Yoga. And in this sloka, Krishna talks about Karma Yoga at 3 levels. It can be performed at any level or all the 3 levels also. It is not necessary you should perform it in all levels. What are the 3 levels? Kayikam, Vachikam and Manasam. According to one's position in life, one's convenience, one can perform. In fact, in our Hindu religion, as we call Hindu, we should call it Vedic religion. Everything is derived from the Vedas. The whole way of life is driven by the Vedic Vedic teachings. It is our Vedic religion alone we get maximum options. If one option is not suitable, you can choose another one. If you find the karmas to be difficult to perform, simpler versions are available. For example, if you take the Shraddha ceremony, there is a Parvana Vidhana, properly doing Homa and all that and doing Shraddha for your parents. Suppose for whatever reason you are unable to do that. Then there is another option given that you just do Hiranyam and you can give food to 2 or 3 Brahmanas. Once, that's the second option. Third option, you can't offer food also to the Brahman. Doesn't matter. Uncooked rice and 2 plantain, what is that called? Plantains. I don't know. Banana is the ripe one, the non-ripe plantains. Just offers.
Raw banana.
Raw banana, yeah, okay. Raw banana and some uncooked rice you offer. Simplest thing, 10 minutes your Shraddham is over. So many options are there. Of course, if it is possible for us to perform totally, properly, the option should not be an easy way out. Option is only when you find it difficult, there are circumstances which prevent you from performing it in a proper form. But the emphasis here is, all such options, so many options are available. If you can't do that, do this way. If you can't do this way, do this way. So simpler versions are available. Similarly, you can offer very delicious preparations as Naivedyam. Or even if that is not possible, as Krishna says, Patram Pushpam Phanam Toyam. Anyone, you give it to me. 1 drop of water you give, I as Bhagavan will accept. That's what he says in the 9th chapter. Patram Pushpam Phalam Toyam Yome Bhaktya Prayachati. What is important? He is emphasizing in the bhakti, devotion, reverence. Whatever you are offered, you must offer it wholeheartedly. This is only I can offer Bhagavan. Please accept it. Bhagavan will very gladly accept it. So what is important is bhaktya prayachati. Bhakti is important. Therefore, it is not what you offer, but with what attitude you offer becomes very, very important. Because the whole Bhagavad Gita is a transformational Shastra. When you have actually gone through the whole of Bhagavad Gita and you have assimilated the teachings of Bhagavan Krishna, you must be able to see, experience a very visible transformation in your own personality, in your own attitudes. If that does not happen, there is no point in listening to Bhagavad Gita. In fact, there are many people who get caught in a very, very attractive, I would call it misadventure. What is that? These people are good in Sanskrit. They will study Bhagavad Gita. Then they will read the Shankara Bhashyam. Then they will read Acharya's Bhashyam. Then they will read some Tikas, maybe Ramaraya Kavi's Tika. Some other commentaries, Tippanis, all that they will read. And they will revel in that knowledge. What beautiful, how Ramanujacharya has very beautifully interpreted, certain words. Shankara takes it differently and Ramanujacharya takes it differently. How beautiful it is. They get lost in interpretations. They get lost in the Sanskrit. In the grammar, how these acharyas have used the grammar to bring out new meanings, etc. That is not the purpose of studying Bhagavad Gita. Bhagavad Gita should change your life. It should transform your attitudes. And it is not that the day your last Gita class, next day your new attitude. No. As you go along, you must be able to monitor, not only monitor, experience a slow change in the attitude taking place. Therefore, in all the spiritual path means what? Transformation of your attitude towards everything in life. That is what a jnani is. What is the jnani between, what is the difference between jnani and ajnani? Attitude is the difference. Physically, there is no difference. Whatever ajnani does, jnani also does. He also eats, he also sleeps, he also reads books, he also travels. Everything a jnani does. But what is the difference? Difference is the attitude with which he deals with his life. With every circumstance in life, there's a huge difference how an ajnani deals with it, how a jnani deals with it. And here Krishna is helping us by giving us easier options. You can do karma yoga. So with these options, one cannot say, no, I cannot do karma yoga because doing this is difficult, etc. Oh, if that is difficult, do it simple. One way or the other, it is possible. Because there are three options, Kayikam, Vachikam or Manasam. Therefore, Krishna says, Yoginah Kayena Karma Kurvanti. Karma Yoginah. Yoginah means Karma Yoginah. They perform. Kayena means with the physic, with the body, physical body. They perform physical action. When they cannot afford that, they are too old, or for whatever other reasons, they are not able to do karma yoga with their physical body. They can do vacha. He can supply, though Krishna doesn't say, he says kayena manasa buddhya. But there is one more, vacha, verbal action. You can't move for whatever reason. Sitting in a chair, wheelchair, you can just, do lot of action, dedicate them to Bhagavan. Eating you will do in any case. So we can supply vacha like Nama Japa, Parayanam you can do. They will all come under Bhak Karma. But if the body is fit and functional, one should do Kayikam Karma. In fact, Kayikam Karma has got a lot of benefits. It will improve the health. The best example of Kayikam Karma is what? Ashtanga Yoga. So the Vachikam Karma option should be exercised only when a person cannot do Kayikam Karma. One should not take to Vak Karma out of laziness. You do Kayikam Karma, you can additionally do Vak Karma, not a problem. But it should not be out of laziness or I cannot move my body. It's very difficult. Who will get up early in the morning and do all these exercise and all? They are all meant only for New Year resolutions. Come 25th of December, they will resolve. From 1st January, I will go for morning walks. I will get up at 5 o'clock and go for 1 hour walk. Not from 26th, only 1st January. Because resolution has to be taken for a date which is not immediate. Then 1st of January, they will say, no, 31st, I am not going to attend any party. Because I have to get up in the morning early. I have taken a vow, resolved. So they will stop their party and all, maybe at 11 o'clock or maximum at midnight. go to sleep, get up at 5 o'clock, quickly do all their morning ablutions, and then they go for a walk. This will go on for 3, 4, 5 days, maximum 1 week. Then they will say, okay, today I will skip. From tomorrow I will be very regular. We all know the story how all these New Year resolutions go. Therefore, wherever possible, Kaikam karma should be done. Because one of the benefits of Kaika karma is beating laziness. In fact, laziness is a inborn with us. It is one of the worst enemies of humankind. Shastram itself says, Alasyam hi manushyanam sharirasto mahan ripuhu. Laziness is the greatest enemy of a human being, which is there right from birth itself, and which pervades our physical body. That is why up to 5 years, or even no, why 5, 8, 9 years, 11 years, we let the child to do whatever it wants to do. If it wants to do, okay, if it's lazy, fine. Once the child is ordained in the Vedic lifestyle through the Upadayanam karma, then it starts with Kayikam only. Get up 4:30 in the morning. Go and immediately take your bath. Nothing, straight away, all cleaning of your body should be done in the morning. Once the body is cleaned, mind has to be cleaned. Do Sandhya Vandanam. And Sandhya Vandanam is one of the best karmas. In fact, everybody should do Sandhya Vandanam. Everybody means those who have been taught this, who have the Upanayanam has been performed. Everybody should do. It's a 3-in-1 actually. Kayikam, Vachikam, Manasam, all 3 types of karmas. If you do regularly Sandhya Vandanam 3 times a day, there is no other karma yoga you need to do. No other sadhana you need to do. And it will keep you healthy. It is not straining your muscles to such an extent that at old age because that's what happens to many people, who are going to the gym and all that. Strenuous exercises and all they do, either it will start affecting them immediately or at a later stage in life. All these problems will come up because when you are exercising your muscles, you have to keep going at it regularly. The moment you stop, the muscle will start loosening up and creating all sorts of problems. Therefore, for good health, one should not lose an opportunity to do physical activity, and Kayika karma is best suited for that. So even though Kayika karma is extremely important, for those who cannot do it or cannot afford it, Vachika karma is the next option. Vachika karma involves what? Chanting, Parayanam, etc. As I said, no physical activity is involved. Sit in one corner, then chant. Just japa you do. Nama japa, just Jai Shri Ram, Jai Shri Ram, Jai Shri Ram. Go on. Vachikam karma. If you have got a good interest in music, sing the praises of Lord. Some beautiful ragas and Vachikam karma. Then Manasam karma. All types of meditations, all types of upasanas come under Manasa karma. Manasa Parayanam, Manasa Japa, Manasa Puja. They will all come under mental activity. In fact, Shankaracharya himself has composed so many Manasa Japas, Manasa Pujas. Shiva Manasa Puja is a very famous one. If you can't do pradosham time, you are in a position not to, you're not in a position to either participate or do any puja or anything, but you have a very keen desire to do the puja. What do you do? If you are at home, light the lamp, take bath, light the lamp, sit before. That Shiva Manasa puja, it will take you 10 to 15 minutes maximum. Understand every word of it. It is actually a full puja as if we are performing. Every aspect of the puja mentally you perform. Acceptable to Bhagavan. If you can't do all these three also, it says buddhya, intellectual karma. What is in it? What is the form of that? Vichara, study. Right now, we are all doing what? Intellectual karma only. We are all trying to understand the meaning of Gita. It is an action being done by our buddhi, not by our mind, but by our buddhi, the intellect. That's why he says, you can do it by physical body, kaikam karma, kayena, manasa, buddhya, he says. So, kayena, manasa, buddhya, indriyaihi api, with the help of various sense organs, jnanendriyani, karmendriyani, etc. Through all these organs, yoginaha karma kurvanti. How? Kevalaihi. Kevalaihi is very important. Because whenever we get success, often we claim that success is it's my accomplishment. I am a very successful man. And such a attitude can go to your head, make you arrogant. In fact, it's a very ironic situation. When most others do not do any karmas, if you are performing Sandhya Vandanadi karmas regularly, it can lead to a superiority complex. It can lead to arrogance. Oh, I do Sandhya Vandana karma regularly, I am not like others. I am different. Such arrogance can come. So success can lead to arrogance. Failure can lead to frustration and disappointments. And therefore, Krishna says, avoid arrogance. And he uses the word kevalaihi, without having a strong identification with the actions that you are doing. So, Sangam Tyaktva is not identifying or with the expected results of action. Kevalaihi means not identifying with the performance of action itself. So even when you succeed doing a very successful action, you should remember, and Puja Swamiji always emphasizes this again and again. You are able to do that because all your organs are properly working. Your karmendriyani, jnanendriyani are working. All these organs are a gift from Bhagavan. Because of which I could think, I could plan, I could act like that. The circumstances were such, Bhagavan made circumstances such that I could succeed. Even the action I was able to do is because of the grace of Bhagavan only. So in everything that we do, we must remember the Lord's grace is involved. Therefore, he says, be humble in success. Kevalaihi. Kevalaihi means abhimana varjitaihi. Without abhimana, without identification. Yoginah karma kurvanti sangam tyaktva. We have already seen the meaning of sangam tyaktva. Without the anxiety with regard to the future, without anxiety as to the results of the karmas. And this is the main indication of karma yoga. Whenever you are indulged in action, if you don't have any anxiety, no tension, no stress, that means your action, you are performing in the karma yoga way. And Krishna says, all this performance of all actions with an attitude of karma yoga is for what purpose? Simple, Atma Shuddhaye. All these sadhanas are meant for what? Atma Shuddhi. And here the word Atma means mind. Therefore, Atma Shuddhi means Chitta Shuddhi or Manas Shuddhi. Atma Shuddhi does not mean purity of Sachidananda Atma, purity of your higher self. We don't need purity of the Atma because Atma is ever pure. And therefore, in this context, the word Atma should not be understood as Sachidananda Nitya Shuddha Atma. It is not the Chaitanya Rupa Atma, but it is the mind. And that is why, many people find Gita to be confusing. Krishna uses the word Atma in different shlokas, in different contexts, with different meanings. But what happens when you come to Vedanta and you say, Aham Brahmasmi, my real nature is Atma, etc., higher self, we get stuck to one meaning of the word Atma. Then the confusion starts. Atma Shuddhaye. Oh, I need to purify my Atma. Consciousness need to be purified. That is what Karma Yoga. So Karma Yoga will not purify my mind. It will purify my Atma. But I am confused because Acharya said that it purify the mind. So this kind of confusions come. Because Atma sometimes means Sachidananda Atma. Sometimes it means the mind, like in this context, is the mind. Sometimes it is the physical body also. Krishna refers to in the 6th chapter. There is a sloka we will see. Jidatmanah prashantasya paramatma samahitah. Jidatmanah, Atmanah. There he is referring to the physical body. Atma means physical body. Therefore, it is very important we should know in what context which meaning is to be taken. And that is why we have a very developed special method of studying the scriptural literature. We have a special key to unravel the meanings called Mimamsa. And only by using the Mimamsa method, we can extract the meaning of the scriptures. Of course, we need not do it because the gurus in the parampara have already done it. That's how Shankaracharya is commented upon. And then we know, okay, here Atma means body, here Atma means mind. And here Atma refers to the Vishuddha Atma. On the contrary, if you rely on the dictionary, there will be some 25-50 meanings. Which one will you take? For example, if you take the word pratipatti, go and look up in the dictionary. Those students who are in my Sanskrit students, they know how to look at the Sanskrit dictionary, Pratipatti, it has got more than 25 meanings. And some of the meanings don't even have any close relationship. So if you come across the word pratipatti in any sentence, what meaning are you going to take? Of course, if it is prose and all that, doesn't matter, some story and all that, maybe you will make out the meaning. When it occurs in the scriptural literature, we don't know what meaning we have to take. Because 2 or 3 meanings will appear to very much, convey some sense. It's just like, these multiple choice questions come. Those who have written such examination, there will be multiple choice, one question, 4 choices. In fact, all 4 choices will almost be the same. There will be only minute difference between one choice, which will be the right answer. Otherwise, all 4 will look as if they all fit the question, answer the question. Similarly, here he has used the word yogina. Yogi can be anyone. Because even these days, everybody is called, there's a chief minister called Yogi Adityanath. So anybody can be a yogi, even a Ashtanga yoga expert can be a yogi. So whenever the word yogi comes, we have to interpret it correctly. In this context, we will interpret the word yogina as karma yogina. If we are studying the 6th chapter, we will take the yogi as dhyana yogi, because 6th chapter talks a lot about Ashtanga yoga. Thus, the very same word can have different meaning in different contexts, and that is why Acharyas again and again and again emphasize 2 things. Number 1, you must study scriptures with the help of a guru alone. Don't try to do self-study. And number 2, that guru should be a guru in the parampara. Because that parampara only gives that how to unfold the meaning of the scriptures through the Mimamsa Shastram, applying the Mimamsa method. Parampara only tells that. That is how the guru from the parampara is the most appropriate person to teach, to learn from. Anyhow, I've gone somewhere. Therefore, we should use the appropriate meanings. That is what is the crux of the whole thing. So here Atma Shuddhi means Chitta Shuddhi. And this point has to be carefully noted, because Krishna clearly says Karma Yoga is only for purity of mind. That means Karma Yoga cannot give you Jnanam. Krishna did not say Karma Yogis will practice this for Jnanam. Krishna says Karma Yogis will practice only for Chitta Shuddhi. That is why Shankaracharya writes in the Viveka Chudamani. Those students, we have already seen this sloka. Chittasya shuddhaye karma natu vastu upalabhyate. Vastu upalabhyam will not take place. You will not get jnanam, you will not get self-knowledge through karma yoga. You will get atma jnanam only through Vedanta Shravanam, that too Guru Mukataha. You will never get Atma Jnanam through karma. This all Krishna will say later. We'll see all that when we come to it. So continuing. Yukta karma phalam tyaktva shanti mapnoti naishtikim ayukta kama karena phale sakto nibhadyate. Again, he is not leaving. You see, the most important point is emphasizing is again and again and again. Tyaktva karma phalam yuktaha apnoti shantim. I am giving you the anvaya. Tyaktva karma phalam yuktaha apnoti shantim naishtikim sakta phale kamakarena ayuktaha nibhadyate. Tyaktva karma phalam, renouncing the results of action. Yuktaha, the disciplined person. You can take him as karma yogi. Apnoti shantim, attains peace. Naishtikim, born out of the discipline of karma yoga. Saktaha phale, attached to the result. Kamakarena, due to the impulse of desire. Ayuktaha, the indisciplined or undisciplined person who is not a karma yogi. Nibadhyate, he is totally bound, finds himself in the shackles of samsara, of all bondage. So, renouncing the result of action, the disciplined person attains peace born of discipline of karma yoga. Attached to the result due to impulse of desire, the undisciplined person is totally bound. Another beautiful, important verse. Krishna says there is one more advantage of karma yoga. It will give you peace of mind. It will not only give purity, increase the purity of your mind, it will also give you peace of mind. Jnana yoga also will give peace of mind. Because we have seen Anantatvam is Anandam. But there is a difference. Karma yoga will give relative peace of mind, which is required for coming to Jnana yoga. And Jnana yoga will give you absolute peace of mind. Thus, Karma yoga is like an appetizer. And Jnana yoga is the main course. You all know what an appetizer does, isn't it? You're feeling very hungry. So you take an appetizer, like some tomato soup or something, some soup or something. These days, when you go to a restaurant, they say starters. They'll give you some stuff. What it does two things. One, it will satisfy your hunger to some extent, little bit. Where you're feeling very hungry, it will satisfy your hunger. But more importantly, what it does, even as it satisfies, it will further stimulate your hunger, making you extra hungry for your meal. Therefore, in spiritual sadhana, karma yoga is an appetizer and jnana yoga is the main three-course meal. Once you have successfully practiced the karma yoga sadhanas, automatically your hunger for jnana will increase. And you will come to the three-course meal of Shravanam, Mananam and Nididhyasana. Therefore, Krishna says here, Yuktaha Shantim Apnoti. Yuktaha Karma Yogi. Karma Yogena Yuktaha. There is another word, Yukta, several meanings. And in Gita, Yukta occurs several times. Each time the meaning has got a different shade. So here we have to take Yukta as Karma Yogi. What is the benefit he will get? Shantim Apnoti. He will get peace of mind. In today's times, peace of mind is a very rare wealth. Now everyone keeps complaining that they have no peace of mind. Therefore, Karma Yoga can give Shanti. In fact, it is Karma Yoga alone which can give Shanti. Money can never purchase Shanti. Having some house property and real estate can never give you Shanti. Even if you have an air conditioner in your bedroom, you cannot get Shanti. They may all give you some physical comfort, etc. Material possessions can guarantee you only physical comfort. If you need mental comfort, psychological comfort, peace of mind, Karma Yoga alone can help you in the first stage. Therefore, Shanti Mapnoti. And how did he get that Shanti? He says Naishtikim, which is born out of Karma Yoga Nishtha, which is born out of commitment to Karma Yoga. Let us see the process. Briefly see the process of how he gets the Shanti through Karma Yoga Nishtha. Again, we come back. We have seen in the previous sloka where Krishna emphasized on Sangam Tyaktva, giving up attachment towards karma phalam, the result of karma. So a karma yogi, if he is doing his karmas with this attitude of sangam tyaktva, giving up the anxiety for karma phalam, then automatically there is no anxiety and there is always peace of mind. Because if you actually analyze, we lose the peace of mind mostly thinking about the future. Sometimes, of course, the past also triggers some mental disturbance, emotional disturbance. But that trigger also is because of certain expectations. For example, I expect to be respected in the society. Whenever I come, everybody should stand up or say good morning. Somebody doesn't do it. He sees me and then he ignores. I feel bad, offended. It starts worrying me. Why? Because their expectation was there. Expectation of a result in the past that I should be respected. Same thing in the future also. I am doing this karma. I should get this particular result. And most of the time, the anxiety is about always the future. I have applied to 10 different colleges. I hope I get admission in one of the colleges. So the future can be helpful to us, and at the same time, it can also become a bondage. When we are thinking of the future for the sake of planning, okay, I have to travel to so and so place. Now I need to plan for that. How do I go about it? Do I need a visa? I have a passport. I need to pack my stuff. What all stuff I should take? Planning future is very helpful. Planning for future is very helpful. That will not give me anxiety. That may give me a lot of action points to do work. If I am very systematic, I will jot down everything and follow it. That will not, and if I have done a proper planning, that's what management people do, insert this word chart and all that kind of project evaluation techniques and all. So everything you take as a project, break it down into small parts and then see which actions can be done together, etc. So I take into account all the possible obstacles and I can then plan and provide for those obstacles, etc. So if I intelligently think of the future, it will make me more efficient in the present. On the contrary, if I am going to think of the future and worry, become anxious, it will make me inefficient in the present. Therefore, the future can make me efficient if I use it for planning. Intelligently use it for planning. Future can also make me deficient if I use it for worrying. Same case with the past also. Past also can be used in two ways. When I use my past for my regrets, I did it, like what happened, or I should not have done this, etc., etc. Many times we have this regret. Saying sorry 100 times, like many of my very favorite students do. They don't come to the class. I'm not saying now, past. And then they don't bother to send me a message in advance. Then they say sorry. Swamiji used to say, if you are a karma yogi, the word sorry should never come in your mind. You must never use the word sorry. That's what Puja Swamiji used to advise. Why? You don't do anything which is wrong. You do everything according to the way it should be done. So if you go on saying sorry, it means that I do not use my past intelligently. Past becomes a burden for me. Past makes me deficient. But if I learn lessons from the past and become a mature person, an experienced person, then the very same past makes me efficient in the present. Thus, if past is properly utilized, I become efficient. If past is improperly utilized, I become deficient. A karma yogi is one who uses his past also and his future also very, very intelligently, and therefore karma phalam sangham tyaktva, having given up attachment to the results of his karma, the future is no longer a burden for him. On the other hand, ayuktaha, the one who is not a karma yogi, just a karmi, who has got all future expectations of the for the results of his karma, he does not know how to use the past and future intelligently. So he abuses the past, because one failure comes, once we fail, we curse the past, we become dejected, we become pessimistic. There is no focus on learning from the past and do course correction. And there are other consequences also of that. We'll see more in the next class. Okay, I'll stop here this time. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vasishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Sri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om. Was the whole class properly audible, or were there
No,
There
no.
have been intermittent disturbances, Guruji.
there have been intermittent disturbances?
Yeah, for
Right.
some time there was no, you were not heard at all.
Oh, is it? Okay.
Uh,
Yeah, I will be
Sometimes,
updating the.
but not much.
But more or less the meanings
More
were
or less.
quite clear.
Whichever portions you have missed, you can watch the video.
Yeah. One, Swamiji, one question, what is the difference between this mind and intellect?
1 second, my battery is running out in the phone.
Okay.
If it runs out, the net connection will go. I'll keep it in charging. Give me 1 minute, and then we will continue to talk. Okay, just give
Thank
me
you very much, Guruji. Namaskaram.
a
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Dhanyawada, Guruji.
I
Dhanyawad.
can,
Hari Om
Thank you,
Guruji.
Guruji.
Dhanyawad.
Namaskaram. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Hari Om.
Thank you.
I can
Hari Om.
Thank you, Guruji. Hari
Thank you,
Om.
Guruji.
Thank you.
ask the question next class. I think.
Sorry about that.
I just wanted one clarification. The difference between the mind and the intellect.
Hmm.
The
See,
di-
actually, these words mind, intellect, mana, buddhi, and all, in Shastra, they are generally referred to as antakarana. Antakarana means inner instrument. Right. Now, that inner instrument is composed of 4 things. The mind, which is called manas, buddhi, chitta, ahankar. These 4 things form the inner instrument. So here we are not talking about any physical entity called a manas or buddhi and all, even though people say buddhi means, the brain. Some people say it is heart. Manas is heart. It is not like that. In fact, the Shastra does not, it uses a different context in different places. Sometimes it says manas is heart, sometimes buddhi is heart. But what we have to understand is the function. There are 4 functions. Mana, buddhi, chitta, ahanka. Now, what are these 4 functions? First function is, what is the function of the mind? function of the mind is that whenever any inputs are coming from the external world through our sense organs, like I see a rose flower, I hear a nice music, there's a beautiful smell. That input comes, and the Shastra says that input is taken by the mind. Now, mind cannot decide. Mind does not have any decisive faculty. Mind is only, it will take everything. It will identify what it is. Like if it's a foul smell, it will identify. If it is a beautiful smell, fragrance, it will identify. More than that, the mind will not do anything. What is the function of the buddhi? Function of the buddhi is taking decision. So what mind will do? That mind will receive all these inputs and pass it on to the buddhi. Buddhi will then, depending upon the past experience, etc., analyze what is the input coming and take a decision what is to be done. For example, you are traveling in a car. Your windows, side windows are open. And there is a municipality truck with all garbage in front of you. What will happen? You will get a foul smell, isn't it?
Yes.
Now the foul smell has come and the mind has, through your nose, sense organ, the foul smell has come and it has been recorded in the mind. But mind does not know what to do with that. So it will pass on that to the buddhi. The buddhi will immediately check out about that smell and say, oh, in the past when this smell came, I felt very uncomfortable. So I should go away from this smell. That's a decision the buddhi will take. And so the minimum that you can do is, first of all, put up all your side windows so that the smell does not come. Or second thing you will do, you will keep more distance between you and the truck. All the decisions or actions are driven by buddhi. So this is what it is. Nischayatmakam buddhi is what the Shastra says. So decisive factor is buddhi. The one which receives all the inputs from the external world is the mind. Mind is emotional. It is always wavering. Buddhi is not emotional. Buddhi is very analytical. So we should not think, brain and things like that. We have to identify there is an internal organ which may be there everywhere, rather. I mean, it may be spread all over the place. For example, even when you get hurt, there is a pain. That pain also, what is to be done, mind cannot decide. The pain is something, emotion attached to the mind. But mind cannot, it will suffer the pain, but it doesn't know what to do. It's only the buddhi which will dictate, okay, do this right now. You got hurt, go and put your hand under a tap water, so that the blood clots, etc. That buddhi will do. So functionally, we have to understand what this antakaranam has got the functions. Chitta is what? Chittam is a function where all our past experiences are all recorded. So for the buddhi to take a decision, the right decision, to guide us, to guide the karmendriyas to go into action, what the buddhi will do, it will go and search in the library of chitta. And from chittam, the buddhi will get, okay, this action in the past, when this happened, this action was taken, it proved to be successful. So repeat now again, same thing you do. Buddhi will dictate the karmendriyas. And ahankara is the fourth part, which is ego. It is because of this mind and buddhi. In fact, ego rests more in buddhi. The I sense, I am a great man, I am that, that's all buddhi driven. that is also sitting in the buddhi, it's a part of the buddhi. In fact, when Taittiriya Upanishad very beautifully explains all these things, 5 kosha, even Viveka Chudamani, we have dealt with all these things, Pacha kosha Viveka. So Vijnanamaya kosha, Manomaya kosha, Anandamaya kosha, all that we have dealt with. So essentially, this is the difference between mind and buddhi, the mind and intellect. Is that
Very
clear?
Very clear. Very good. So mind is a receiver, intellect is an interpreter, and that interpretation takes from the storehouse of Chitta.
And then action is taken.
Thank you.
Exactly, this
Very-
computer, computers, they have designed it
Yeah.
exactly like that only. If you actually
The
observe,
brain or the human brain.
computer is the best example. You understand? There is a processor, which is a buddhi. Then there is a stored, data. Then input is there. When input comes, the processor processes it, takes data, and then it gives you a answer rather. So computer design is exactly based on this in Antakaran. Of course, ego is not there. The computer doesn't stand up and say, I have done it. Only we say the human this thing. Yeah. Okay. You have a question?
Better to be a computer sometime.
Yeah.
And not have ego.
Correct.
Just analyze practically. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Guruji. Very clear. Thank you.
Yes, Hadiji. Can you hear, Hadiji? I think again you are on your phone, mobile phone is not unable to unmute.
Yeah, I think now,
Now
is it
you
okay
can
now?
hear it. Yeah. Tell me.
Guruji, this is the of late the most, I find the most misused word is Sanatana Dharma. Everybody, whatever it is Sanatana Dharma, it is this, it is that, for everything they use the term Sanatana Dharma. Can you kindly tell me, without the Vedas and Upanishads or Bhagavad Gita and all, is there any existence of Sanatana Dharma? How are they? Sanatana Dharma minus Upanishads or Vedas, does it at all have any existence?
No, because you must understand
Yeah.
Vedas and Upanishads are only manuals. Manuals of how to lead a life. And what is the contents of Vedas and Upanishads are valid eternally, right from the beginning of this universe till the end of this universe. Whatever has been said there, they are valid and they work. So, whatever is contained in the Vedas and Upanishads in terms of the life that one should lead, what is called Sanatana Dharma, and it includes everything that the person has to say, right from observing certain disciplines, do's and don'ts, all those things, then prayer, bhakti, temple visit, one aspect of it. Because Sanatana Dharma does not have one aspect. It has got several aspects. The whole Varnashrama system is a part of Sanatana Dharma. So, you cannot separate Sanatana Dharma from Vedas and Upanishads. Vedas and Upanishads are the manuals Sanatana Dharma is the way of life a human being should lead for not only his progress, but also for the progress of the entire society. That is the whole, you can say, purpose of that Sanatana Dharma. And it is the oldest one, and it will remain valid till unseen times, rather, I would say eternally. It will remain valid. It is only when we go away from what
Can you
teachings are, we get problems. Yeah, what we're saying?
can you does it mean Vedas and Upanishads and scriptures like Bhagavad Gita and all are the manual of Sanatana Dharma?
Yes. So many manuals. Puranas are manuals of Sanatana Dharma. Itihasas like Ramayana, Mahabharatam, they are manuals. Sanatana Dharma does not have one book. There are so many. And Acharyas, and not only Rishis, Acharyas and all, they have also contributed their own to the very rich literature of Sanatana Dharma in developing these manuals further and further and further. So Sanatana Dharma is not something different. That's what the problem, after we have been engulfed with this Islam and Christianity, the whole, and then they have bracketed the Hinduism also into that without understanding that the very basis of Christianity, Islam is Hinduism only. It is one aspect of Hinduism, or Sanatana Dharma is what Christianity is, what Islam is. One aspect of it. Of course, they have taken the other, whatever do's they have taken, whatever don'ts also they are taken as a part of their philosophy, which is a very sad thing, which is the reason for all these conflicts which are there in the world today. But Sanatana Dharma itself is not a religion at all. It is a way of life.
Guruji, in this connection, and I have another query. Is Sanatana Dharma directly or indirectly connected with Hinduism, or can we bifurcate Hinduism from Sanatana Dharma?
See, before Christianity came,
Did I express myself correctly?
correct, I understood your question. What I'm saying is, before say 2000 odd years,
Yeah.
Christianity came into the scene. There was nothing called
Yeah.
Hinduism. There was only Sanatana Dharma. What happened? Christianity came about 2000 odd years ago. Then about 1500 years ago, Islam came. So Islam is a religion. Christianity is a religion. Then there is this huge group of people who have been going to temples and other things and all that. What do we call them? They were called Hindus only because they were identified with the Indus River. These people were residing on this part of Indus, so they were called Hindus. So Hindus is a word which is coined out of nowhere, just a geographical description of the people living on this part of Indus. And that over a period of time has been given the label of Hinduism and all that. In fact, you look at any of our scriptures, the word Hindu doesn't occur anywhere. It only talks about dharma, dharma, dharma only. All our this thing is dharma. That's why the entire Vedic portion is called Dharma Shastra. So we must understand these are all nomenclatures, this Hinduism and all. The word Hinduism for a person who is following of the Vedic religion has got no meaning at all. Other than the meaning that I am a person residing on this part of the Indus River, beyond the Indus River. Because what happened
Okay.
when invaders came, they had to cross through this river, Indus River and all. When they came here, they found a new big set of people practicing certain different kinds of, all actions rather, whether it is prayers or whether whatever it is, values and things like that and all. They found. So they have to be identified with some name. So they call them Hindus. That's all is there for Hinduism. Otherwise, the word Hinduism is today become synonymous with Sanatana Dharma, which is okay because Hinduism is easy to understand because of the context. You say Sanatana Dharma, then you have to give a big explanation. Hinduism means people of India who are actually Sanatanis, Sanatana Dharmis. That's how we have to understand.
Okay. Thank you.
See, it is like, give you an example. Are you a Tamilian?
Yes.
Is a Tamilian different from an Indian?
No.
You are a Tamilian because you are in Tamil Nadu. That is the only identity. Isn't it? Otherwise, from a national point of view, every one of us is an Indian. So every one of us is Sanatani. Just because we were here on this, even Christianity is Sanatana Dharma only. Islam is Sanatana Dharma only. As I said, Sanatana Dharma gives both do's and don'ts. They have taken the do's all right. But some of the don'ts also they have taken it as do's for political reasons. They both are politically driven religions, whereas Hinduism is not a politically driven religion. It is a dharma, value-driven religion. Dharma has got many shades, different meanings are there. So all put together, dharma means so many things, all that driven religion. In fact, you can't even call it a religion. Calling it Hinduism as religion is also wrong because it's a way of life. That is how you should conduct yourself. Right from you get up in the morning at early morning, you must get up before sunrise. That's what the Sanatana Dharma says. So right from that till you go to sleep, whatever you are, how you are, what you are supposed to do, how you are supposed to do, is all that is contained in the Vedas. And that Vedas, for that manual is given. Bhagavad Gita and all, simplifying the Vedas and then teaching it in a for the common man. Puranas, Itihasas, all these things are there. That's how we have to understand our religion, if at all you call it a religion. Yeah.
Okay.
That's a
Thank
clarity.
you. Yeah.
Big
Because,
topic, that's it. That's
this-
all. Everybody is talking about it. And but
it is all a very
my take on
highly
it. This is my
Yeah.
take on it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, when
Thank
some
you.
politician says, I have to eradicate Sanatana Dharma, he will have to eradicate the entire human race. Well, I can show you in Islam and Christianity, principles of Sanatana Dharma being incorporated in there. So if he has to eradicate, he has to eradicate that also, isn't it? Mindless people, they talk like this. So that is all political reasons. So let us not get into that. I don't want to get into politicals of it, but this is what it is. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
Hari Om. Thank you.
Hari Om.
Any other question? So nobody has raised their hand. Yes, Sulekha ji, you have something to say?
No, Guruji, I just wanted to say Hari Om. Thank you.
Okay, thank
Before,
you.
before
Right, then,
you
I
log
think we
off.
will close the session today. And Viveka Chudamani will continue tomorrow, the same kind of thing. But I will make sure
Thank you,
now
Guruji.
I
Hari
take
Om.
classes only from where I've got a stable
Hari Om Guruji.
internet connection. Okay.
Thank you. Good night.
Night. Thank you. Hari Om.